Are you ready for some new hate comments? And do you know what, guys? I've been piercing shamed, and no, it's not clickbait again. This is true. Welcome back to the channel. Having a lovely day. Hit the like button, subscribe, shout out to all my Patreons. And yeah, thank you for joining me today. We're going to delve into some lovely hate comments. I'm going to give some context and let's have a laugh at some of these absolutely preposterous things people have been saying.
Haters beware, you're in for a scare.
Are you ready for the ultimate projection? Why do you only get tattoos that are designed for children? These designs should be on a wall in a bowling alley, not on a person. It's actually kind of sus how much child-related tattoos you have, to be honest. But honestly, darling, this sounds like projection. If you look at me and think, oh, children come to you, then you have projection. The funny thing is actually the majority of my tattoos, about 90% of my tattoos are not child-friendly in any way, shape or form. My left leg is horror movie villains, my right leg is Mortal Kombat, both of which 18+.
Please think of the children!
The Simpsons isn't children. This is millennial. This arm is probably the closest that comes to children are related, but this is all millennial stuff. This is all my generation. My back is Halo. That's not children. This is the kind of thing where someone just overly sexualizes anything. They'll think of like someone going to the bathroom and think, oh, there's predators in the bathroom. It's like when you're over sexualizing and over things, like just stuff like that, then you're the one that needs investigating. Because when your mind just instantly goes to that, I'm sorry, what do you do when you're alone? No, thank you. Projection. But then they went on to say, there's nothing funny about any of your tattoos. Actually need reevaluate your life. That's disgusting. And when have I ever said my tattoos are funny? I want any of you here, please go back to any time in my videos or posts where I have said that my tattoos are funny.
The woman's demented.
Roly, old fruit. Old? Get a life. Move out of your parents' spare room. Stop spanking the monkey and make meaningful contribution to society. Oh God, lentil lover. All of my family are dead, so I'm not living in anyone's basement or spare room. Spank? Do you know, I have not heard the word spanking the monkey for so long. Do people, you can tell, this person saying old fruit. Honey, you're outing yourself as an old fruit yourself. Spanking the monkey. Has anyone, when was the last time you ever heard anyone refer to Master Boislier's, you know, as the monkey? I can't say these words over and over again, I'll get flagged. I have never, when was the last time you heard anyone use such terminology to talk about masturbation? Like, what are you going on about? And actually, I feel like I've made quite a good contribution to society, thank you.
That is not correct.
Ousting weirdos like you. There's a real, it gets to a point where like, if you, as a someone who doesn't like me, you went onto my profile, downloaded my profile photo, and then put this like weird AI filter over to make me look like a clown and some weird neck tattoos, just to be like, I'm a Premier League. I'm glad that I hold that much headspace from you, Jesus Christ. So here are some responses to my new neck tattoo. Demons are not to be messed with. This is terrifying.
I think you're evil!
I always wonder what it must be like to live in a world, like live in these people's world, where they see like what's on my neck and say like demons shouldn't be messed with. It's like a fictional character in a fictional game that's not real. It's not like I actually got like a real demon, Say I went through the Bible and looked at some sort of, I've not even read the Bible, but like, imagine if I actually found like a demon that was in it, like I put like actual Lucifer, like the actual devil, it would make more sense. But when you're literally saying this kind of stuff about fictional characters from a game that's not based in reality, it's literally completely all fabricated and like not real, to still be like demons are not meant to be messed with, terrifying, like it's not real, sis. I don't know how you go about your life, because I have a demon tattooed on the back of my head now. How do you survive? How do you survive through life if you're that sensitive to things? I don't understand. I don't like this one. Why'd you gotta get a scary one like that? Scary one. I mean, it works. This is what I mean. I love being a bit spooky.
It's Halloween.
I always find it interesting if people say things like, oh, why have you got a scary one? Like, have you not seen what I have on my like left leg? It's just full of horror movie villains. A scary one. Come on, can we grow up a bit? Scary. Scary. How are you gonna get the coolest arm and back pieces yet the ugliest neck piece? You don't have to like what I get. But to say that it's ugly is just factually incorrect. It is a beautifully done tattoo. Doesn't have to be your style, that's absolutely fine. But it is a gorgeous tattoo. But why is it so different from the others? They're also colorful and playful, and this one looks aggressive and dark. Again, you clearly haven't been paying attention to what I have on my body, because both of my legs are full of horror movies, fighting game, which is all about demonic possession, death, blood. Like, I don't understand. Just so stupid. They all blend together nicely. Just because the theming is different, they all blend together nicely. Okay, I might as well be honest. I'm probably only one that's going to say this, but I don't like the tattoo on the back of your head at all. It's taking away from the rest of your tattoos. How is it taking away from, this is the kind of thing that I get really confused about. Is that I don't understand how it's taking away from my other tattoos. Like, they're still here, sis. They're not going anywhere. I just don't get it. Again, you don't have to like it. I don't think Kathy's necessarily being a hater. She's not being a hater, but I do think what she's saying is a bit strange. Like, again, have your opinions, I don't actually care, but it's taking away from the rest of your tattoos. I don't understand why. Why is it taking away from the rest of my tattoos? like, what? It looks AI generated. Is that image AI generated? So this is where we imagine, first of all, imagine me, one of the most vocal people on here, especially with Lauren as well, about anti-AI, how much we hate AI generated imagery, especially within the tattoo field. Imagine me getting an AI generated image tattooed on me. Can you imagine the audacity? This is the issue with actual AI generation now, because it's becoming so big. The actual artists who have real talented skills in creating imagery are now being accused of using AI when they haven't used AI. The tattoo artist of Avinus who did my neck, if you go back on his page, years ago, he does the exact same style as what he's got on my neck. You can see that he was doing this way before the AI trend was kicking off, years and years and years ago, before it was, back when AI couldn't even make the simplest little image of like things, everything's like this and stuff. Now, this is the problem with AI, is that actual talented people who can draw are now being accused of using AI when they haven't used it, and it's disgusting. So when I read this comment, I want to bear in mind that this was commented on a Kanye West tattoo. Mate, you've got tattoo of Sonic. I'm pretty sure him and Nintendo don't care about you either. I'm sure you've gotten that tattoo because you like Sonic, bro. Your argument here works against yourself. Imagine comparing me tattooing Sonic the Hedgehog over tattooing a real life modern Nazi. What? What? Oh yes, prolific Sonic the Hedgehog. You're saying my argument works against myself? What, your comment is just deluded. What are you talking about? Tattooing like an awful person on you is not the same as tattooing Sonic. I don't understand how you can honestly compare those two things. You will never ever convince me that tattooing someone like Kanye West on you is a good idea. He is an awful person. And this was literally another comment on the same video about Kanye West. Damn, man, big words from someone with so many cartoon and video game characters on them. And I replied to this person, oh yes, prolific Nazi, Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, these people are so cooked. The idea that you're comparing, like, tattooing hateful people on you to tattooing something like Sonic, and on the off chance the creators of these things dislike bad, there's still a detachment from it, but you just getting a Kanye West tattoo, who is a real person who does real life awful things, is not the same. Especially because, like, the tattoo was new. This wasn't like an old tattoo of him. This was a brand new tattoo done in recent times, like the past 6 months, after all the nonsense he's done. This isn't an old thing. And this person had 3 portraits of them too. It wasn't just one, it was 3 portraits. If you're honestly comparing those two things, you are fully cooked. The guy that sits to pee is talking. Pervert. So this one is a wild ride. So this was commented on one of those like Richard tattoo posts where, you know, he just basically like drives a needle into the skin. Now this is a very interesting chain of events. So this person called the Venus Von Trapp says, dudes calling another person people disgusting, maybe focus on getting your teeth fixed instead of another shitty piercing. Typical Brit. Now, the chain of events that happened after this. Now let's carry on, shall we? First of all, what that Richard person does to people is factually disgusting. It is awful. The amount of damage that it can cause, the scarring. It's so horrific what he does to these people. It is categorized and would be considered a disgusting thing to do to people. Like, it is actually disgusting. And I was like, fine, you're gonna come after my appearance, I'll do the same. Oh, honey, I'm not going to be insulted by the crimson chin. I also never called him disgusting, but that was that. But you're the hypocrite you want, sis. And that's true. I never actually called him disgusting. I said what he was doing, like, this act is a disgusting act, but I didn't call him specifically disgusting. The gymnastics you do to justify yourself in these comments is comical. Fix your teeth. And I was like, do you know what? That's twice now you've mentioned my teeth. I'm just gonna put this on screen. I figured out this person never actually shows photos of themselves smiling, and all their photos them going. And I managed to find this one video where this person was talking. Let's just zoom in, shall we, in a specific area. I'm not gonna say anything. And I said to them that I was like, right, fine, thank you. I said, you're giving me some lovely comments to put on my stories. And they've put, is your life that small that you fight for Instagram fame? Jesus Christ. Aim higher than the internet, you absolute failure of a human. Being quick, better put in another pair of contacts to feel different, unique, and edgy. And what's so crazy, the fact that, like, this person is also a drag queen. The idea that they would say things like critiquing people's, like, expression like this, as if, like, being, it was, like, different, unique, and edgy. I'm like, you're literally a drag queen. Like, you're literally a drag queen.
A drag queen?
This is nothing more than projection and things that people have said to you that you're putting onto me to make yourself feel better. People would literally be saying what you're saying to me. They would be saying exactly the same to you, like homophobes and hatred towards drag queens, people who perform. They'll be saying the exact same stuff to you. It's so weird that these people love to be like, well, it's said to me, I'm going to say it back. Talk about mental gymnastics. These people, to justify their own existence, to project it onto other people. Projection, self-hatred, already insulting my teeth, having whack-ass teeth yourself. They come after my looks. I'm not above this kind of eye for an eye stuff. You're hardly a beauty, like, pageant winner, are you? Let's be honest. You know, the expression, a face only a mother can love, was created for a reason. And then I did post this person on the story, like I said, and they went, oh, yes, post me on your story. Little baby claims to be his job, but can't handle one negative bitch. Jesus Christ. So you're actually admitting that what you're doing isn't actually constructive or helpful. You're just being a negative bitch. But again, they only did this because they're backpedaling, because now I've shown them to people. I just find people like this so bizarre, like just insulting people. Again, I never go after someone's looks. I'm not the kind of person that's above being like, if you come after my looks, I'll come after yours. Sure, well, I never claim to be above that. If you're gonna look like a rodent, don't come after me and start insulting the way that I look, sis. So I'm gonna read you this comment, and then I'm gonna show you what video was commented on. Heaven forbid a tattoo artist do something other than make symbols and pictures like they've done for centuries and tried to do something more interpretive and artistic with their medium. They just commented on this. And this is what I mean about these people who say that I'm toxic. They're the kind of people that defend shit like this. Dangerously, unsafely, unsanitary. I'm sorry, the idea that you can go, this is just so artistic. No. What this person's doing is absolutely beyond dangerous. It's these types of people that try to cancel me. It's never actual professionals who actually have any kind of, like, competence in the field. It's just utter ludicolo people who are like, yeah, artistic. Doesn't matter that it might actually cause scarring, really bad infections, problems low down the line, you know, infections. Oh, it's artistic! Shut up, John. Your voice alone is a job stopper. Your nose is a job stopper. It's okay, at least I'm not a flaming homosexual with a bunch of cartoons inked on my body for life. I don't understand. The thing is, I find it so interesting when people say things like this. I'm like, first of all, I'd rather be a flamer who can do all this stuff than a loser like you who is just jealous of my existence. It's like trying to go up to someone and say, like, oh, say they've got blue hair and they love blue hair, and you go, oh, you've got blue hair. I'm like, if someone loves having blue hair, they love having blue hair, you're not going to be able to offend them. I wouldn't spend all this money and spend all this time doing this if I didn't like them. Like, so you calling me saying, oh, at least I don't have cartoons inked on me. I mean, like, but I chose to do this. It's something I wanted. So why would it be an issue? You are so toxic for the piercing and body mod community. Why? Because I tell people not to shove needles through their nose at home. Again, I want someone to really tell me why I'm toxic. Please tell me what it is that I'm saying that is toxic to the community. Maybe we shouldn't be doing dangerous things at home, but apparently saying that's toxic. It's a little bit like that girl who tried to cancel me for, like, the whole piercing blade thing. It's like these people love to sing. They're like, as if, like, I'm terrible for the community. But the only people who say that I'm terrible for the community are the people who are doing really awful things. Never actual professionals who do the, like, part of the industry who actually do it properly and, like, sanitization, cleanliness, correct. Like, they don't have a problem. It's the people who do all this dangerous shit that's like, oh, you're so toxic. Why? Because I say, let's not encourage people to shove safety pins through their eyebrows. I'm really toxic. Toxically What on earth are you? I don't know how many more times I have to tell you this. I'm God. So this isn't really a hate comment. It's more just a bizarre thing that happened on Twitter. Hello, beautiful. I'm looking for here is an honest, trustworthy sugar baby to share the thoughts with. Someone I will get her bills paid and spoil financially. No nudes, no videos or something like that. DM me if you're interested. Oh, sign me up, girl. Although I'm not a woman. Can I pass for a woman? A beautiful woman. A dainty woman.
She's a woman, isn't she?
I actively kind of stopped trying to grow my Twitter, you know what, a year or so ago because of the whole like Nazi mask and all that shit. I now and then I will still post things on it, but I went on it the other day to try to see like what my follower list was like because like I haven't really checked it for ages. Honestly, over the past like 6 months, 70% of the things that are following me are literally just pornography bots. Like it's the whole platform is now ripe with just pornography bots. Gotta say, you do look like a
It's true, but he shouldn't say it.
Oh God! It's as always. It's always the anonymous channels, posts, pages, bios that always love to throw insults. Andy Jones has got a lovely goose as his photo. So the only one here that looks like a is you. That's why you don't have a profile photo. Are you ready for some conspiracy theory madness on one of mine and Callum's videos? Chemtrails are real! Stop denying this and stop talking now! Wait to people who know what they're talking about! Do your research! You are the one who needs help! Chemtrails real! I'm needed in the basement. How do you even, like, it's with these people, there is literally zero possibility of you ever reaching any kind of sense with people that honestly believe stuff like chemtrails. People cannot control the air. The idea that you think the government are flying planes and spraying, like, pesticides into the air that dumb us down over cities. I'm like, you cannot control air. If they sprayed pesticides, say, over London, that would also affect the king, the prime minister, the government people. Like, the funny thing is that these people who are like, oh, the chemtrails dumb us down, it's always the dumbest people that say it. Yeah, it's bloody work, doesn't it? Look at you. So some context for these next comments. Now, there was a video that went around on Instagram quite recently of this guy out there saying, I was taking my brother to a pride event, or I was taking my brother around to show people why I'm like a single man in the gay community. And essentially, it was this man filming this like, apparently it was meant to be like a pride event, but it didn't really look very pride-like. And it was essentially these people just like dancing in the street. There was basically like just teenagers being shown. There was a few older people there as well, but it wasn't a full-on. I'm not justifying anyone hating on pride parades, but like it was the most like non-offensive, like inconspicuous kind of event. They were just dancing in the street to some techno music. There was literally nothing offensive, in your face. Right wingers would even struggle to find problems with this to try to cancel people. So it was weird. This gay person was just like, oh, this is why I'm single. And it's like, no, you're single, sis, because you have a terrible attitude. I really don't agree with just going out on the street and just filming random people to make content and just laugh and insult them, especially like humiliating people for literally not doing anything towards you. I hate that kind of content. So I commented that on the video. This person says, you're literally what we're trying to avoid. Honey, the call is coming from inside the house. You make me look straight with that wispy little gay lash. Jesus Christ.
Will you marry me?
Imagine being like that and thinking that the right wing and like all these like, sis, you're part of it. I know what you're doing in the weekend. It bloody XXL being like, hello, girl. And someone else replied to me, he's referring to the rainbows giving him the ick, bruv. Don't look in the sky on a sunny, rainy day. Jesus, you might have a heart attack. And then another person replied to that person replying to me saying, exactly, not every gay man likes to dress as a fairy and act like a hysterical little girl. Again, this level of pick-meism and like self-hatred is ridiculous. I'm so happy that I grew up as a person who was never like, yes, I had insecurities when I was a teenager, but in my adult life, I was never bothered by this stuff. I can go outside and live my life normally without worrying about being triggered by rainbows or seeing an effeminate man or just seeing anyone a little bit androgynous or slightly less gender conforming. The idea that you would go out every time you see a rainbow or anything I just listed, and there's way more stuff, and you'd be so so upset and be like annoyed, be like, oh, how dare, like the rage that it must fill you. I'm so glad that I am not part of that. Yes, when I was a teenager and I had self-hatred, I had those feelings. I was very against feminine gay people when I was like 17.
I'm nothing like the stereotype, as people would say.
Because it was basically just me. It was my projection. To be a fully grown adult, still affected by that, I feel so sorry for you. Like, I feel so sorry for you. How, like, you think not every gay man likes to dress like a fairy and act like a hysterical little girl? When was the last time you actually, in your everyday life, outside of something like Pride, for example, where, like, we know, everyone can, like, gets together, how often do you actually go down the street and just see a man dressed up as a fairy screaming like a hysterical little girl?
Is anyone around here normal?
They act as if like they can't leave their house without seeing this all over the place. It's so, it's very that meme where they say right wingers inventing things and the girl's like trembling under the table with the Terminator. It's like this meme. They act as if like they can't leave the house without being completely bombarded with men dressed as fairies and screaming like hysterical girls. As a gay person who involves myself more within the community than this person would, you know, all of my friends are LGBT in some kind of aspect. I rarely see men dressed up as fairies and jumping around like hysterical little girl. And also, no one is saying that you have to do it. It's these people just completely invent non-existing threats and enemies to just like make their life fit. I don't know why. It's so perplexing. And it all stems back to this one person filming himself, just like shaming and trying to insult and laughing at total strangers that were just having a good time. Well, why aren't you all dating each other then? Because you don't like each other. Because you're also to each other. You hate. I mean, there were more. I can't want to keep going about this pick-meism stuff. There were more comments that said things. I just can't bother to even justify some of these pick-meism people. Oh, just absolute scum. Can't he feel like that though? You do the same to other groups of people. What are you The idea that you can compare what I do on the internet to what this man does, I react to content that people freely put on the internet using hashtags, want people to see. Like, I don't go out of my way to go into the street and record random people just having fun, making their own, like, I don't do that. And I also call out people doing really bad stuff to themselves and promoting bad activity. And this person replied to me thinking, dude, I watch your videos all the time and I like them, but usually there is a bias on your side, which is fine, but it seems you are the only one that can have it. Now wait till it gets worse. Take it, for example, with the MAGA movement. You talk as if all of them were the same. I myself am LGBT and I stand with this dude. The only problem, he doesn't think the same way as you do. That's why he's bad. These people, these MAGA right-wingers are so brain rotted that even when it had nothing to do with them or the MAGA movement, it's instantly brought back to it. But yeah, it's like off the MAGA movement, like, shut up! When a movement literally comes on and says factually incorrect things, lies, takes away rights from queer people, tries to get our rights revoked when it comes to, you know, bathrooms or even there's places like trying to get rid of adoption. I've got people in America who's had their like passports changed back to M when they're like trans women. This isn't, I'm not going to sit there and be like, no, I'm just not going to say anything. No, I will call that shit out. And again, this person's like, I agree with this dude. I'm sorry, you're just an asshole then. Going out onto the streets being like, I'm single because of these people. These people aren't doing anything wrong. They were just dancing in the street. This pick-meism is so cringe. So when it comes to hating gays or being annoyed by women, it's an attitude problem. But when women can't get relationships or don't want, or gay people insulting straight people, it's because person that assuming deserves it. I called that mental insanity and victimizing yourself. Did you just write that? I think it made sense. What on earth are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hope you find God one day. I do, every time I look in the mirror. Jesus would have smited you. As we say again, Christianity, the religion of peace. What the F is wrong with
everything?
God's sake. Brody Darcy, have you ever thought about taking a cyanide tablet? You look like a goblin. Honey, as always, someone who is so uggers who can't even put their own face as their profile photo because the camera lens explodes every time you look into it, you shouldn't be saying anything. The video was bad enough, the commentary was worse. I don't know how many times I have to, like, reassert this point, is that when you come onto a commentary reaction video, the person is going to comment and react to the video. If you really want to just watch the content, maybe just go search search that up yourself. Don't come onto a commentary channel and go, I can't believe you're speaking, I'll be quiet, you're so annoying. Go choke. I am not a fan and that is yours to blame. You talk so nasty about people and sound like a cocky bully. Please take a step down and have several seats. At this point, I don't know what to say to these people. Are we going to get to a stage now where it's cancelable to literally say, can we not do dangerous things to ourselves at home? Apparently that means I'm a bully. I do find, and like, I do feel like the younger generation does tend to throw around the word bully a little bit too liberally. Bullying is a very, very specific type of thing that happens to a certain individual. I was bullied in school. Bullying was relentless taunting, name calling every single day, constantly, fear to leave your house, fear to go into school. I was rammed, punched, attacked, beaten in school every single day. That's bullying. Me going on the internet and going, maybe we shouldn't be doing this dangerous activity at home with unsafe equipment. That's not bullying. I don't understand the way that the word bully has been completely bastardized in modern sort of time on the internet. You're the one that needs to take several seats. Take an entire auditorium. Like auditorium. Why do you need 3,000 piercings? Why do you not know how to count? So some of these Twitter responses are me just responding to right-wingers and like Donald Trump and the White House, and I've been very vocal recently about coming after Donald Trump on the Twitter. So a lot of these responses are people just responding to my tweets about Elon Musk and Donald Trump and right-wingers. Was gonna say something about this, but pulled up your profile pic and looks like life has been hard enough on you. Wish you well, mate. Thank you. Yes, I'm very successful. I love my life. Lovely tattoos, lovely piercings, lovely followers, lovely friendship. Wonderful. Life has been hard. I've also got some wonderful things out of it, so I'm very happy. So thank you. So this is commented on one of my Instagram reels where it was a girl shoving like pins through her lips. Pot's calling the kettle black? What are you talking about? How? And I said, explain. And they said, you're not my target audience. Rather, you didn't understand. This person has 70 followers. Your target audience. What do you mean what do you mean? You comment on my page, comment on my channel, and then go, oh, well, you're not my target audience. You wouldn't understand my comment. What target audience, babe? You got 70 followers. Shut up. You should not be giving out advice on people's physical appearance. And again, this is another one of those things that you're just completely cooked. Seeing someone who looks like me, to say, I shouldn't be here, saying, I shouldn't be up here. I shouldn't be saying, don't shove safety pins through your lips, through your eyebrows, through your ears. Don't use unsafe tattoo equipment. Because I look the way I look, I'm not allowed to say that. What is wrong with, again, it just goes to show that these people are commenting and these are outside any kind of like body modification world where they don't even look about or listen to what's being said. They just hear, don't do that, and look at me and go, why are you telling not to do it? You've done it. I'm like, no, you're completely missing the point of like what I'm actually saying. If your listening comprehension is that low, then maybe you should stay off the internet. Roly, you're bald, thank you, and you're a Day 21 of asking you to clip your fingernails. What do you mean clip my fingernails? What are you talking about? What? This guy is so cringy. Thank you. So a little while ago, I talked about how I'm part of, I've got 2 pages on Facebook that I get the piercing shaming stuff from. And there was this one person, and she has clearly this sort of like vendetta against me for whatever reason. I don't know exactly what it is that she really hates about me, but she posted my jewelry line that I do with Alpha Body Jewelry. And basically was like, I can't believe he'd be like selling all the stuff, externally threaded jewelry. And like, she was basically like moaning, I can't remember the exact post exactly at the beginning, but it was basically like moaning that my jewelry wasn't like solid gold. It was ridiculous, and saying how awful like externally threaded jewelry is, and went on this whole like tangent on me and kept going on and on and on. And I just want to read through some of the comments on this shaming group. But it's funny because there's one person who was like, isn't he part of this group and he's going to see this? And I was like, yep. But one person replied to their post and like, I saw that. These comments praising him wasn't it. Why, Floor? Why? You don't have to like my jewelry. You don't have to like the stuff that we created. I'm praising it and saw him and wasn't it. What do you mean it wasn't it? People don't have to like the same kind of jewelry that you do, sis. Goes off about folks having cheap externally painted stuff when he's got cheap externally and painted stuff. I never. It goes on about folks having cheap external paint. I have never ever, I don't think I've ever mentioned painted stuff. Like, well, I don't know where this painted stuff has come from. Like, painted stuff. We talk painted stuff. I don't know where that's come from. Also, external. I have never, ever in my whole time being on YouTube said you shouldn't be using externally threaded. I have never said that because I use externally threaded jewelry. I hate internally threaded. This is what I mean. They just like invent things to be angry about. I have never, first of all, again, I don't understand this painted stuff. I don't think I've ever mentioned painted jewelry. There was that one video that they did, that 5-minute crafts thing did where they like, it was like a 5-minute craft video where they like used nail varnish on like jewelry and then shoved it in their ears, which is absolutely horrific. Like that's not just like painted jewelry. That was like fresh nail varnish put into piercings. Like, what are we like? And it was 5-minute crafts as well. Like, they should not be giving piercing advice to anyone. So that's the closest I can ever come to be like painted. I don't know where you've got this from. Colette Burns, you're just making shit up. You're just making shit up.
You're the most corrupt lowlifes in the history of civilization.
And again, not all of my stuff is externally threaded jewelry. Again, this is people that have no critical thinking skills. They have no critical thinking skills. They just clap their fins. They see someone trying to slag me off and go, yeah, I hate him too. Let's. You're just embarrassing yourself. You're just embarrassing yourself. Now, this one is funny. If you go back even watch for a few years ago, his ears are covered in cheap acrylic jewelry. I used to like Roly, but now he like seems more of a bully than anything now. He never gives advice, just shames and laughs. You're literally on a page now, you liked a page that's literally called That's It, I'm Piercing Shaming. Imagine being part of a group called I'm Piercing Shaming and then having the audacity to say, all I do is shame. It's these people as well, Harley, who loves, again, they love to act high and mighty. And honestly, very straight before I say this, but I don't care if people say things about me. So again, this isn't my first rodeo. They're literally commenting on a chain of people just completely dogpiling and slagging me off. And they love to go, he's awful. Like, you're literally doing the shit that you're saying that I'm doing that you hate. These people are such hypocrites. But also, I want to point this out as well. He never gives advice. I think every single one of my videos, I give advice. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you are talking, again, they just make shit up. Harley's just making shit up. I think my last video, I gave probably the most advice I think I have given. Like, I think that half that video was just advice on piercings and things. But again, the main thing, he just shames and laughs. You're literally on a page that says, that's it, I'm piercing shaming. Shut the fuck up.
Stupid girl.
I only remember Roly vaguely because he used to rock ugly ass acrylic jewelry. Again, it's this like fictional enemy about acrylic jewelry. Yes, when you're using stretching equipment, don't stretch your ears with acrylic jewelry. When you're having brand new piercings, you would never pierce it with acrylic jewelry. When you do piercings, most piercings you will do like the highest quality jewelry. Yes, when you have it, you should keep it for less amount of time. You should replace it after 6 months. Like, don't keep it for long periods of time. But like, they act as if like it's Satan. Like as soon as you use acrylic jewelry, your ear's going to explode and die. Yes, make sure your piercings are completely healed before using it. But loads of people wear acrylic jewelry in their tongue because, of course, when you've got metal there, if you bite down on it, it's going to hurt. If you bite down on the acrylic, it more likely break and you can get rid of it, your teeth won't chip. This Rachel person replied to one of these people and was like, he's the worst and genuinely doesn't know what he's talking about. Again, this is one of the things, like, what do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? I don't understand these people who say, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but please tell me what I don't know. What don't I know? And again, as always, whenever I don't know something, I will ask the audience to tell me. This whole idea that I sit here and I know the be all and end all of, I literally never said that I be all and end all of anything. Liana says, yeah, this is the worst. Not surprising considering the jewelry in his own ears sometimes. What's wrong with the jewelry I have in my ears?
It was made by those who are dead.
This whole panic that people seem to have about externally threaded jewelry, half of the line that I have in this piercing range that I have is externally and some of it is externally. I prefer externally threaded jewelry. It is far easier to tie on and off, especially when you're dealing with smaller types of jewelry. Sometimes when you have internally, it makes, a 1.2 millimeter bar into like 1 millimeter, and it's so thin it's something that's very difficult. But some of the piercing stuff in my line is externally and some of it's externally. All of my jewelry, it's funny because this person is distinctly just chose to show this teapot and cup style of jewelry. Now this one is externally because of the kind of jewelry it is. It's a lot easier to make it as externally than it is internally. It's very difficult to make internally because of the shapes of the piercing itself and it being front facing. But again, this person fails to show the rest of the line where like a lot of it is internally threaded. She selectively picked this one type of jewelry because it is externally threaded jewelry. And I just find it's this, but people have such a lack of critical thinking where they won't even go and look even more. They'll just go, yeah, it's like, all of this stuff is so shit. If you don't like externally threaded jewelry, don't wear it. I prefer it. You don't have to use it. No one's forcing you to use it. Like, you make the choice. It states on the page, externally threaded. If you want internally threaded, there are internally threaded options. But there are lots of people like me who don't like internally threaded and prefer externally threaded. Hence why I wanted my whole piercing line to be a mix of both, because I'm not doing it just like for me. I want my audience to go, oh, if they want internally threaded, they can get internally threaded options. It doesn't all have to be externally threaded. LeMayo, Roly is such a tool. Why? If you're gonna call me names, at least explain why. Oh my effing god, he couldn't even pretend to care about the quality. These people are so pathetic. It's such like fake outrage. It's such performative outrage. It's funny because like these people obviously don't like me. So when you're someone like me, right? I mean, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn. I'm not really problematic on the internet at all. I'm sure I've said things in the past I won't maybe say now or something, but like, you know, that's the thing of being on the internet for as long as I've been doing this since 2008. There's probably things I've said that I wouldn't say now, but like, I think in the grand scheme of things, you know, I feel like I'm relatively unproblematic in any way, shape or form. So like when someone like me, when people don't like you, they will reach to reach, they're popping their shoulder out to get offended, to find the single most like insignificant thing to try to cancel you on. And then everyone jumps on it. But it's so ridiculous because it's so like performative and like fake outrage, because what you're getting angry about is not really an issue in any way, shape or form. Because again, you can pick between them. You don't have to, like, and no one's forcing you to buy any of this stuff. Like, it's different if I was like, to watch my content, you have to buy this jewelry. Like, it's completely optional. And so to use this type of stuff to be angry about me, and then to be like, he couldn't even pretend to care about the quality.
Oh, shut up!
The worst thing is his stans will go out his way to buy it and thinking it's good quality because he acts like some sort of expert. Rachel, you need to seriously just like take an entire row of seats. I don't understand what your issue is with me. You're just making yourself look stupid. Yeah, some of the things have like thumbs up, but 6 thumbs up. Like, again, and it's all the people that are talking with each other who are thumbing up. So it's like the group of little, like, it's so pathetic. You do not have to buy it. And as I always say, don't use jewelry without your piercings being healed. You would never just like change your piercing. This is the thing. I actually lost the comment, but one of the things she was saying about how I wasn't telling people not to like put it in fresh piercings. But like, I'm not here to babysit you. Like, if you are honestly going to change your piercing within a day or 2 days into some of my line and it gets infected, that's not my fault. That's your fault. I'm not going to babysit all of you. Obviously, when you get new piercings, you don't change it until the piercing's healed. Like, why would you? Yeah, like, you know, I'm not here going to be having to hold your hand the whole step. Going to be like, make sure you do it on day 85 and don't change your piercing, else you'll die. This didn't Miss Rachel. Like, I don't understand. I also, the thing is, to talk about acrylic as well, I don't think any of the line is acrylic. And again, the Liana replied again, this is what I mean. They're all just like liking the things that you comment, being like, I hate that he has a huge audience and will literally try to explain how something's done wrong. It's completely wrong and he knows nothing about it. Then you have millions of people thinking that he's right. Again, tell me a time where I did that. And this is what I mean. It's like, they love to say this kind of stuff, but we'll never be like, oh, back in, you know, 2000, when he's like, what? Tell me where. I don't understand what you're even referring to. And this one person was talking about how they use externally threaded and it was absolutely fine. And this Rachel went on a whole spiel about how awful it was. And it was like, if it's not caused you any problems, then keep with it. So you're saying it's fine. If you really hated externally threaded and you wanted to make a whole post about how I'm so awful that my jewelry is externally threaded, but now you're saying, if it's not caused you any problems, then keep with it. But it's not the best. So if you do have irritation in your piercings, it could be because of that. This person said externally threaded jewelry, they've never had any issues and they love it. It's fine. And you're like, well, if it's not caused you a problem, then keep with it. So why are you angry at me? Why are you angry? Again, it's such performative outrage. It's cringe. It's performative. It's so pathetic. Like, if using externally threaded jewelry was that bad, was that awful for you, you wouldn't say, if it's not caused any problems, then keep with it. That's just not, you just wouldn't say that. The whole thread, this person said there's nothing wrong with them. They have absolutely, they're not replying to like them saying they've got bumps. No, like they said they were absolutely fine. Because take, for example, piercing guns, right? There are people out there who have used piercing guns on their ears and had no problems whatsoever. But I will still say never use it because it's really awful. Well, stop using it anyway. Piercing guns are terrible for you. You should never use piercing guns. But Rachel, for example, is like seeing someone saying, I've used an external threaded jewelry and I've had no issues with it at all whatsoever. And like same same for me and so for millions of other people. If you were so solid on your point because you wanted to make an entire thread slagging me off because of externally threaded jewelry, if you were so strong with that point, you would not have just said, if it's not causing any problems, then keep with it. The same way that I would never, ever, ever say, if someone said about piercing guns, I would say, no, do not use them, they're still awful. Just shows that you're cancelling me on something so thin that makes no sense because you can't even stick by your own point because you're just going against what you just said. Because if you thought it was so bad for you, that it was so awful that I was doing this, you would never say to this person, if it's not caused you any problems, then keep with it. So it just shows that you don't know what you're talking about. There were so many more comments on that whole thread on this piercing shaming group where people just like slagging me off and stuff. A little bit like that girl when she made that video about me last time. I just find this performative outrage just like so cringe. Like if you're going to cancel me, at least make it something like actually like real. This guy has worn poor quality jewelry for most of his career, blocked him a long time ago. How do you know? I think it's absolutely hilarious that people love to say this kind of stuff. You do not know me. You do not know me. You have no idea what I do in my life. You have a small portion of what I put on the internet, which is like an hour, 2 hours long videos. You got 2 hours of me a week, right? The idea that you can make an entire assumption. He's worn poor quality jewelry for most of his career. You have absolutely no idea what I do in my life and what I wear and what I have and what I do. You have no idea. You just know that this is the kind of person that would be really susceptible to real parasocial relationships with people online. When you can make an assumption like that about someone, you have no idea what I wear in real life and what I do. And this other person, Caitlin, like, oh man, I didn't even think about that. That's funnier because I agree. And he always acts so high and mighty about knowledge of piercings and jewelry. Cringe. Like, honestly, sheep. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that now and then I do like to do my top 5 music lists where I put like a list of songs that I really like. And someone's commented one of them. What the F is this list? Well, a Wharton. If you actually read what the bio says and the text that's on the screen right at the beginning, it actually says what this list is. I see reading comprehension isn't part of your psyche. Well, guys, we're well and truly aboard that trigger train today. Choo-choo, speeding down the railway, about to crash off a cliff and plunge to IDS. Bye! Ooh, my back, my legs are hurting, girls. Squat for Jesus. Oh, Jesus loved performative outrage. Oh, Jesus loved to get nailed to the cross with some teapot jewelry. Oh, Jesus, do you know what? Jesus is dead. He's dead and he's not coming back, so deal with it. Oh, God. Anyway. Thank you for watching this new hate comment video. I do love doing these. These make me laugh. Yes, let me know down below what you thought about this video. What are some things? What was the one that stuck up the most? I'll still never get over that man who was the drag queen person who was like talking about my teeth, but also looked like Gollum. It's just so interesting that the projections this and this whole idea of like, again, the stupidity of like seeing my arms and instantly thinking of like PDF file behavior. Like if that's what you're thinking when you look at me, then that's projections. That's your problem. Like that's absolutely your problem. And again, if you want to cancel someone, please make it worthwhile. Can we not like have this performative outrage that people seem to have about me? Like, can we at least make it right? Something good. Be like, oh, he said to, I don't know. I don't think it's what. Hey, I don't know. Just can we at least make the cancellations at least a bit more like substantial and real? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. As always, yeah, please do hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that are coming up. There is a QR code again on screen here. Scan with your phone and subscribe to the channel. Today's Instagram shout out goes to that artsy witch. Oh, burn the witch. Come follow me on Instagram. Maybe you can be in the next Instagram shout out. A massive shout out to my lovely Patreons whose names you can see on the side of the screen here. Thank you for being a Patreon. You guys are delicious, wishing to help my channel survive. And an extra special shout out to my top tier Patreons, the Paisley Prince, Randy, Gothic Undone, Sushi Fox, Lonely Assassin 96, AJ Padilla, Shadow, Radhika Madala, Cottage Pie, Snail, Apple, Andrew Lexter, Samuel, Tadeo Anaya, Lovely Caitlin, Leon P, Adam Flelminster, Keen Jelly Bean, Purple Eyed Fox, Kaz, Eva Netniash, Demon Bunny, Kimmy H, Blue Gem, TNS Mum, Adam Brett Batch, Bex Max 3000, Rishi, They Call Me Doc, Athena Falling Angel Barrington, Erin Grace, Benjamin Baker, Aya, Robin Scott Palmer, Steph Utek, Chloe Louise, Little Seizures, Sizurier, and Shell Herman. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being on the channel. And thank you there. There's a link down below. Come join the Patreon family. We'll get a brand new exclusive video very, very soon. Going to be watching through the TV show Shattered. I just need to try to find a stream of it, and we're going to instantly be doing that. Anyway, thank you. Being fabulous, be amazing, be gay, be everything you want to be. be. And don't let any bitch or they tell you can't be you. Why is that? You are flawless, girl.